What's up, y'all? We are live right now. Let me go ahead and send this request out to get Christlie and Hamza on the call. Oh, Lord. I hope I ain't invite somebody. I don't know why Instagram doesn't just save like the people that you had on. There we go.
Wait.
All right. Hey.
Oh, I just realized. I was like, why I don't got no audio? But I have it now.
Can you see the comments today?
Yeah, today I can see the comment.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, goodness. The last episode, the last podcast episode.
I couldn't see nothing. I was just like,
What y'all talking about?
hello, everybody.
What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, man. I really hope Lane jumps on this live because I kind of need to refer her.
Wayne?
Lane. Her name is Lane. Lane Bradley. And I need to refer her. And I'm like, damn, I need Lane's information. Y'all, happy if you guys haven't already. See, we are going on tour. I feel old.
We gotta do the bankhead bounce. Ain't that how I go?
I don't know.
I feel like I look so dumb. I'ma stop.
Y'all, we going on tour.
We going on tour.
It's summer tour. So that means I'm be fully outside.
And the tickets gonna be we're gonna start putting the links up for the tickets and everything next week.
Yeah.
Pre-sale. Whistle.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Is Hamza in the room?
He's not. Where is he? Last when we hung up, he was dealing with his door. Let's see. I sent the invite again, so. But yes. What's
Can you hear
up?
me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Because a call came in, and you know how it is if you get a call. Hey everybody. I know I have not been on live. I haven't been on social media. I've been dead to the world, but I'm not dead. It's just I'm just really waiting for this contract to come through. We've been doing everything under the sun to get the dang on to the end. To the end is hard, and it's life changing, but it's hard as heck.
You ain't got to say a word, honey. Hold on. Where is this man? I'm messaging him right now.
Everybody that's in here, can you drop your cities in the comments? I want to see who's gonna pop up at the tour. Drop your cities in the comments. Add a comment. Drop a city. Drop a city. Add a comment.
Yeah, Hamza can't get on right now, but we need to tell them as well about the last episode that just happened a few minutes ago.
Yes. So let's talk about it. We just did an episode with this woman, Karen. She said Brooklyn is on the stop of the tour, girl.
I'm so tired of you and these Brooklyn folks.
Dallas is on there too. Waterbury. You gonna have to drive to New York.
Yes, you're gonna have to drive. It's Houston, right? Wait,
Waterbury,
no.
Connecticut. No.
Waterbury, Connecticut.
You gotta come to New York. It is
How far is Connecticut to New York?
probably like 2 hours, depending on what side of Connecticut. Like 2 hour drive. It's worth it. You gotta pop out. It's worth it. Okay, so listen, y'all. Let's talk about this episode that we just filmed with Karen. So one, if you are not already following Government Coins Podcast on all major podcasts, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to do it because a lot of people get scared when they're looking at RFPs. I used to have one actually right here. That's like 200 something pages. They said Brooklyn is a 2-hour drive. Then I'll see you in Brooklyn, honey.
Yeah.
But pretty much we go dig deep, dive in, giving y'all the tips, the tricks, the gems about how to respond to RFPs, what should be included, what you should be looking at. I mean, we ripped the process to shreds a little bit. So it's gonna be a dope time. Somebody said Atlanta. Yes, Atlanta is the first stop on the tour this.
No.
So it's gonna start off in Atlanta. New York is right after. Okay, so we will be in Atlanta. So pretty much on this podcast, Karen, this woman who owns, what's the name of her business again?
Once Upon an RFP.
Once Upon an RFP. She dissected, we asked her a bunch of questions on how we should essentially respond to these RFPs, because it's no joke when you're looking at an RFP that's like 87 pages and then Bama's is like, bust it out. You got to write this RFP and put it together. So we will definitely, we have already put it together. And we put this entire episode centered around how to respond, which way to respond, what to do, like things to look out for, what pages you should go to. So if you're not already paying attention, you need to go and watch that episode.
Yes.
We really rip it into shreds. And I love that for us. I think the biggest issue that I have with people is y'all see the RFP and you think you can compete because it's like, oh, I could do this. The government doesn't care. That's one of the biggest things. I'm like, the government wants to know, can you solve their problem? Like, where can you solve the problem? And now tell me how you're going to solve the problem. Who is going to be involved, and why are they even qualified to be involved? So that's why we really break down the essence of the entire government contracting process. We are going to, we really talk to her about what are the key things to look at when you log into, or when you look at that RFP.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out what it's like. You're like, what page should I go to? Bruh, we're breaking it down. We're like, go to this, read this part, read that part. Then when you're done, read that part. If you can do all of this, respond to the RFP. But if you can't, back away. Let's not waste anybody's time. Let's not waste your time.
Right.
Let's not waste time. And you know what I love? He stressed the importance of networking. I don't think a lot of people understand, when you're in that government contracting space, if you don't build a good network, if you don't have the bomb people around you to build that, if you don't have a relationship with the agency, it's really tough to kind of bring it all together and win that. But there's definitely ways that you can. And so I think we, again, Government Coins podcast. I know Pastor Hamza's on and he got something to say. What's the line that you said on the pod? What is it? I'm
saying you need to have micro content. So everybody think their proposal got to be 200 pages long or 50 pages long. There's no page limit to how long your proposal is supposed to be. But be mindful that you don't want it to be a whole autobiography of yourself and your company, because you have someone that's evaluating and reading through this, and they normally are just skimming through, right? So they're skimming through with already in mind of a company that they're going to award it to,
right?
All right. So you need to have micro content that creates a macro impact.
Yeah.
So
Go.
So what I'm saying is that you need to be able to express how you're able to solve the government's problem without being long-winded. That's very important.
Yeah, I feel like one of the biggest misconceptions is people want to draw out this whole my company is great because of da 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 da. My company can do da da da. And I learned this the hard way. My first RFP, when I wrote some dumb essay, and that agency was looking at me like, girl, we don't give a damn about you and what you do. Like, why are you writing that? There are some RFPs, there are page limits. Be careful. Absolutely, there are RFPs. So let me be clear. A request for a proposal comes with a compliance guideline. The guideline will essentially, most of them will outline specific things they want to see and how many pages, right? They might say, we want to see your organizational chart, meaning how many people's on your team that's going to address this particular contract.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to limit it to 2 pages. They might say, we want to see a technical response, but we only want 5 pages. Listen, I've had to do it where I finagle them margins. You know, we're back in high school. We finagle them margins. If they don't have a font request, I'm finagling the font. I'm finagling the size because I want my message to get across and I want it to be direct. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to cheat myself, but I also want to be compliant with, they told me 5 pages. So I want to respect the request. But many people write these responses thinking I can do it. But the real outlook when you open an RFP needs to see, okay, I could do it. Now, how can I do it? And you need to constantly remind the client, what is the process? Like, this is how easy it can be, right? And that's why whenever you log into, like, let's say if you're trying to buy a software, let's say you're trying to buy Mac or you're trying to buy iPhone, they always try to do, hey, you look at our how user-friendly we are. We're user-friendly. We're easy. They make the stuff easy. That's what you're trying to make for your client. Make the process. Somebody asked a question, but I can't see.
Where is it? Oh.
I can't. My comments is dead.
Oh, ready? Chrisley. Good. We just started.
You can read the comments. I can't even see.
Okay, let's see. Before I do that, I want to piggyback off of what you were saying in terms of the RFP having, or RFP, whatever the RFP, RFI, having the information inside of it for you to respond to. And I think that's one component that we don't think about enough. And if you realize it, they are giving you the guidelines.
Right.
Does it sound like an echo?
No.
Okay, so it's just over here. I can deal with it. But yeah, they're giving you the guideline. They're telling you exactly what they want you to respond to. And Hamza brought up a really good point on this episode when he spoke about the evaluation criteria. Agencies tell you how they're going to grade you. You remember back in school when you used to get a rubric for your papers, right? You knew exactly what they were going to grade you on. So it allowed you to focus, be hyper-focused on these components.
Right.
So thinking about it in those regards, looking at it from the aspect of, I know what they're looking for. I know how they're going to grade me. Now you need to focus on, Chrisley was saying it, how do I convince them that I know what I'm talking about? And that goes into how she was saying, outlining how you're going to do the work. Chrisley, you brought up another good point on the podcast. Listen, this episode was good. I remember everything. But Chrisley said that when you are explaining the project and how you are going to do it, break it up into phases.
Yeah.
When you tell them how you're going to do it, you break it up into phases. You walk them through the process of how it's going to get done. So that way they can actually see it happening. Right? We're reading this, but we are visual people. Right? Yeah. We can see it happening when you walking them through the process. So just like a story, you from beginning to end. So
yeah. Well, I heard the beginning to end. I think when I first got started and I used to be trying to figure out how to write an RFP. Let me be clear, everybody. I failed many times. And I always like to remind people, I failed many times. Okay. And so through that, I get the debrief, and the common core was, this was a great proposal, but I just couldn't understand what you were going to deliver, which is why when it comes down to every single business meeting, I always say, okay, what are our deliverables? Like, what are we walking away with? So this is just a cheat code for everybody on here. When I'm writing a professional services or a service-based RFP response, here in my technical approach, right? In my technical approach, I always have a, what's that thing called? A chart, right? So you go in Microsoft Word, you put in a chart, add a chart, whatever columns, right? The columns usually include, get your pen and your paper, this is all I'm giving. The column usually includes, one, the agency issue, right? So let's say the agency issue is like, we don't got no printers. right? We running out here printing at Staples. That's a problem, right? So I'm
Right.
like, that problem. Then the next column next to it, I'm like, our recommended solution, right? We will provide printer XY, blah, blah, blah. Here's the specs of the printer. Here's the benefits of using this printer. And then we're like, boom, here's how we're going to do it. The printer will be delivered on such and such date. Ink will arrive on such and such time. Install, done, bop, bop, bop. Column next to it, I assign somebody on my organizational chart to the task, right? Billy Bob is going to be the, right? Billy Bob, bam, right? So now you're telling them, like, hey, this was our problem. They just gave us a solution. They gave us when they could do it. They gave us the person, right? And now I break it everything up into phases. So maybe it's that one printer. We're like, phase 1, delivery. Phase 2, evaluation. Phase 3, assessment. Whatever. I don't know. I just make shit up. But pretty much everything that I write now, it has to either be able to be as concise as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and it has to, the new graphic that I started putting in is roadmaps.
Yes.
So I started doing like roadmap graphics as part of the timeline, because a lot of people, y'all submit these proposals and you don't give them like a full, right? So after I break up the phase 1, here it is. Here's the deliverables. Here's the method. Here's the benefits. Here's who's going to deliver it. Here's the whatever. Then to give you a macro view, because I gave you the micro, give you a macro view of the project timeline. I'm like, phase 1 delivered in 3 months. Phase 2 delivered in phase bop, 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 delivered this month, right? And so with that, I'm able to essentially give you a full view of, you know, who is doing what on a team, you know, when they're doing it, you know, how long it's going to take and how they're going to execute it, you know, what I'm going to provide for you. And there's no like, what, how's she going to, what?
Yeah.
That's
How we gonna get this done?
That's a key point you made, Chrisley. Also, when you're reading a proposal, you know you're going to be aligning yourself with other companies, whether you're going to be outsourcing or you're going to be subcontracting or using other companies as team players to get the actual mission completed. You need to be able to articulate your strategic collaborations and partnerships that you have in the proposal. Not I got a subcontractor or I'm going to hire someone. You need to be able to articulate it to show some type of key team personnel type of list. All right, here are the key players that's going to be a part of this contract, or here are the strategic alliances that and partnerships that we have with these competent companies that are going to be helping us solve your problem. Like, that's how you need to present it. And you need also within your proposal, it's not talking about yourself, not bragging about yourself. As an agency, we don't give a damn about you and your business. We want to know about how you're going to solve the problem based off of the scope of work, based off of the problem that we said in the solicitation. So the key thing is identify the problem, and then create a solution that articulates how you're going to make that problem go away, how you're going to band-aid that cut. That's it. Get straight to the point. Not I think I should get this contract because I be looking cute with my little outfit sometimes, or you know, we're gonna really try hard to do it. Like, you have to be strategic of how you want to represent your company. When they looking at that, they represent your company. All right. So another thing is that when you see an RFP go out, 9 out of 10 times that contracting officer or agency already have a company in mind that they possibly want to do business with. But based off the Federal Acquisition Regulation laws and rules, we got to put this out for a competitive quote, or at least put this out for a RFP to get other companies to submit back in. So you got to already think in your mind that, damn, this RFP is not even meant for me. That's how you have to think. So now I have to be able to show this contracting officer or agency that you need to reconsider who you thought you had in mind, because
Exactly.
our company is that premier company, or our company is that competent company that's going to be able to solve your problem. You have to change the mind of that acquisition department or that contracting officer, because most of the times they already have a company in mind. So once again, when these solicitations go out for RFPs, it's normally too late. That's how I look at it. Like, it's done, because a lot of business gets done outside of the normal post solicitation for a business to bid on it. Like I say all the time, the government spends $10 trillion a year. What you see on these sites for contract opportunities, that's less than 2%. It's less than 2% of what they spent. So that should tell you that there are other contracting vehicles that government agencies can use to purchase their services or products from small business outside of just submitting out a solicitation, so they can get competitive quotes.
Yeah.
That's my whole saying of, we're doing business. We're not bidding, but we're doing business. The government don't have to put it out for bid. So when you see something out for bid, consider yourself that you have to prove your company why they should make a second thought or consideration of going in with your company against someone that they already have in mind.
Somebody said, or any of you, because my comments came on when I had to jump on another call and tell it. Somebody said, are we doing a proposal writing class anytime soon? So I just did one, like 2 of them, but it was, again, because, I got to change everything and make it a government contract. So essentially, I took Black Bunker and I contracted it to the city of Newark. And so I teach other businesses to do that. But I think, it's in my spirit. We could probably do something on the tour. We could maybe put together a little workshop.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm going to do a proposal writing class for 3 or 4 hours, because that's the minimum that it would take for me.
Exactly.
This is not going to be a little $25 transaction.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Because you leaving with a master template, okay?
Like a full-blown, and if we're going to do it, we might do one for how do I respond to RFQs, right? Because quotes, maybe Hamza might lead that one. And then I might do something with RFPs.
And I'll do the eyes.
And then she does the eyes. We could, if we busting that down.
Ooh.
You gotta understand that it's not even about the price. You need to understand the value that you're getting, because you can't go to school for this. You can't get a certification in this. There's no university that shows you these gems of procurement, of proposal writing, of responding back to any solicitations from the government. This has came over time from experience. What did Christlie G just say when we was on this live earlier? She said that she failed numerous times in her proposal, which means that there was a learning curve that she had to bend the corner on. She had to learn something. Hold on, because I'm feeling this coming down.
They go past the Hamza. He came out on y'all.
She said that she failed many of times writing proposals. So she had to endure this in order to get to a point where she feels confident, to a point to where that she's able to write effective proposals that get awarded. This is not something that you just get a GED in, or I went to school for grammar writing or whatever. This is a skill set that she has that's invaluable. Yeah. All right. So always think of the value that you're getting out of the investment that you're willing to make. Because normally, I know when I'm looking at something, I don't say I ain't got that money or I don't have it. I say, okay, how I'm gonna get it to get this stuff. Yeah. So it's all about the level of mindset that you have on your own self to say, you know what I'm going to do to put myself in a position to get some information that can turn into compensation. Right. But go ahead. But we're gonna spend our money on some things that we ain't gonna get an ROI on, not a return on investment. So it's like information that you receive that you can use for the rest of your life. that you need to understand. So these failures that Christlie endures, that she went through to get to this point here, to ready to teach and ready to educate the people on how to respond back to these RPs, so you can make you some millions of dollars too. Just know that you need to have your checkbook open.
Somebody was like, listen, and this is what I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If I'm going to teach, one, I'm already believing, Hamza and Shakeia know there's a multi-million-dollar deal that I'm working on right now.
Thanks.
That 24 companies have competed. I wrote my RFP response by myself. Okay, took me months. That's another thing. You got to invest patience. Some of you don't understand. Yes, you got to invest time, like money, but you need to invest time, right? 24 other companies. I competed against a university, right? And there are 3 slots, and I just made it into one of the 3 slots for competition, meaning I'm in the process, right?
Top 3.
So when you're in that interviewing process, that means you just killed many people, right? Off the rip. So if I'm going to hold that class and that's a multi-million, I'm going to give you the template of that multi-million-dollar contract. Like I'm believing that I won already. That's just,
you have.
I'm already done. Like it is what it is. Thank you, Jesus. But I will give that template, because to build it, I had to rip that. It took me months. I did many reels in this exact corner trying to figure out, like, I got to call this person. I got to put this together. Is this strategic? Is this right? How do I map this out? Let me build this chart, right? It takes time. So yes, it is an investment. No, I'm not here to rape nobody's pockets, but I am trying to save you the years that it took me. So it's either this. You
save time.
You can't get it back, right? The other big thing I really need y'all to understand, and I learned this from my husband. Like, I went to a meeting, and this is the first part of that episode, talked about you got to build relationships. And Hamza talks about this all the time. Like, he's always talking about, I'm doing business with, I'm in business, right? And the biggest thing is, I actually love to be home. I love to be in my house. But my husband is like, we outside. Like, what golf event? Like, he's going to a golf event with government agencies next week. He's like, baby, I don't care what we do. We golfing? Like, the biggest thing that I need y'all to understand is, if you're going to invest money into events, specifically become a sponsor. I know when I started, when I looked at them sponsorship, I was like, who finna drop that money? Who finna do that? But guess what? I sponsored a mayor's event. 4 mayors in small cities. I sponsored, meaning we was eating eggs and bacon and grits. And they was like, thank you for paying for the eggs, bacon, and grits. And I was like, you're welcome. And I'm the only Black woman. I'm the only Black human in the room. Let's be clear about that. We don't show up to these events enough, and these businesses show up.
Yeah.
And what do I walk out with? One of the mayor's phone numbers.
Hello.
Like, come when you ready. Just come to my office. Let's talk about what we're gonna do. That will skip the whole RFP process. That will skip at that point, you just go straight to proposal writing, right? Like, get your proposal together. This is how we finna do this. Cut the check, right? So, like, if it had not been my husband that was like, yo, let's drop this money on this event. It's 4 mayors in one place for 4 different counties. We could essentially infiltrate this space in 4 different counties at the same dang time.
Right.
So we did. We sponsored the event. And guess what? Got an email today. One of them was like, hey, we'd like to invite you to a golfing event. Would you like? Yes. Do I know
That's marketing. That's marketing.
Exactly.
You made yourself value. You presented yourself. You made yourself memorable. I'm going to remember who paid the tab for me to eat. That's for sure. Period. Right? I'm saying it goes back to the statistics.
Yeah.
statistic number one, I say it every time I get on the live. 96% of government contract awards go to companies that are actively marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So what she was doing is, that's a form of marketing. That's a form of presenting her company based off just handling a tab for people to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get invites. Now you get contact numbers, direct line contact numbers. Now they have you in mind of company that I can use their services for. Because the key thing is that a contracting officer, government agencies want to do business with the competent. And they want to eliminate themselves from doing more paperwork.
Yep.
So when they're able to identify a company that is competent like Chrisley, and to be able to know that we can trust her firm to be able to handle our problems, now you're getting opportunities that's sole source. You're getting opportunities that's through simplified acquisition procedure. That comes from marketing. This is what I mean by marketing, branding your company to the government. And these little small things, they're showing up. 99% of winning in life is just showing up.
Yep.
And then that 1% is showing out. Show your ass. And what I mean by showing your ass, by simple things that say, you know what, I see an opportunity where that I can make myself memorable by handling everybody's meal. So, as simple as that. That's going to turn around to be 6-figure, 7-figure reward from that. You are planting seeds. Back to what I always say, that we don't eat what we kill. I hate that saying, I eat what I kill. No, because when you eat what you kill, you can only eat it one time. You got to eat what you growing. You got to eat what you grow, because you're always planting seeds. And in business, especially in government contract, you're going to be planting seeds, and you need to nurture it, and you need to fertilize it, and you need to give it sunlight, you need to give it water. All right? You're planting seeds so you can continually keep eating. When you plant that seed one time, and that apple seed, and it grows the apples, and then the next season it grows again from that one seed that you planted. That's how you continually keep eating. So keep that in mind, that you're always planting seeds.
Let me tell you,
doing business.
Listen, I said it earlier, y'all, and I'm gonna say it again. Hamza was a pastor in his past life. I mean this.
Everybody, put the donation, please. Everybody, please.
Look at my little plant right here.
Yes, it needs love. It needs nurturement. It needs all those things for it to grow.
Yeah, look, somebody said Pastor Hamza preaching. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Let me put my money in the donation.
I wanted to add another quick point on to the end of that, because Chrisley, you know, she sponsored that event, and there's some businesses, they may not be in a position to where they can, right? That's fine. Show up. Like Hamza said, showing up is what? That's 90%. Now this 10% at the end, we don't talk about this enough. We do not talk about it enough, but the follow-up. The proof is in the follow-up. We go to these networking events, we leave with all these cards, honey, and we don't follow up with these people after the event. That's where the issue lies. We got to follow up. That's the biggest deal. I went on a call on Wednesday. It was a GWAC call, and one of the panelists on the call, she spoke about something that I know our company can do, right? So immediately what I did, I called the helpline to try to get her contact information, sent her an email. She responded back to me. She didn't put any information out, but because I remember who she was, it was a virtual call. I was on my phone, screenshotted her name, and then I went and did the research to figure out who she was. Then I followed up, right? Following up is where the proof comes in, right? If you're not reaching out to these people, you're just going to this event and expecting them to remember who you are. I remember when I first got started in this space, y'all, and I'm one of those people, if you see me, you know, like, I'm quiet, I'm reserved sometimes, because I just feel like I ain't always gotta like say nothing. But I'm at this event, and this guy he's a procurement manager, and he's like, make me get tired of you. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, why I gotta bother you like that? Like, I don't like bothering people. That's one thing I ain't gonna do. I ain't gonna bother you. If you don't respond to my email, look, dudes too, when I used to be dating, if you don't respond to my text message, you ain't gonna hear from me for a little bit. I was just gonna say that. Like, I need to be on a priority level to y'all. So I was coming into the procurement space with that same attitude. I reached out to you. You should respond to me. Blah 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 blah. It's not like that. So when he said you should get on my nerves, like I should get tired of seeing you, I didn't understand that language because I was looking at it from a different perspective, right? So when he said that, what he really meant is you should continue to market your business to me. I don't care how many times I ask you to send me your capability statement. I don't care how many meetings you have to schedule with me to remind me what it is that you do.
Right.
So especially, that's the most important part about knowing who your targets are. The moment you know who your target is, you can get on them people's nerves. Don't be out here trying to do business with any and everybody. Figure out who your target agencies are. Who are the ones that purchasing and doing business with businesses like your business, and focus on them. Give them all you got. That's what
I
like
rather
content really be.
I rather get on the nerves of
Yeah.
someone that has a $10 trillion purse.
See,
I'd rather
look,
get on
back
your
then I
nerves.
ain't want to hear it.
I'd
Now,
rather you I'd rather you say,
ring ring.
listen, we know who you are, bro. All right, we know Global Connect. We know Hamza CEO. We know who you are, bro. I'd rather do that because that's marketing and branding. Now you know
Yes.
I am. I bugged you. I'm gonna bug you so much until you said, "We got it, bro. We know who you are." All right, done. Mission complete.
Facts.
What is it? Little steps towards the big goal.
Yes, that's all it takes. Small steps towards the big goal every day. It don't stop Monday through Sunday. All right.
That's it. Rashida
365,
said fortune is
366
in
on leap
the
year.
fortune is in the follow up. I like that.
The
There we
fortune,
go.
the fortune. He said the fortune is in the follow up. I think
Yes.
for
The
me,
follow-up game.
the follow up game has to be real. But let's be clear, when you guys attend these events, like before I go to an event, I already have in mind who I'm gonna talk to, and I already researched that person.
Right.
So I had oral presentations for this, multi-million-dollar deal, and the invite has the names of who. Sorry, it has the names of the individuals that's going to be at the event. So do the research, and the way that you do research, I'm gonna answer two things because I saw two questions somebody asked. Right, one, doing the research looks like this. When you find the names of the attendees or the companies, find out what their needs are. If it's a government agency, look at their plans. You can look up their budget plans, their 5-year plan, their 10-year plan. You can look up every single person that is attending the event and go into their LinkedIn. Heck, if I could find your social media, I'm going to find your social media, because I'm going to link something. Example, one of my oral presentations was with, it's a person who focuses on technology in HR. My business is HR.
Mm-hmm.
I searched through every single job he had, looked up what software those jobs used, and then added it to my presentation. Why? Because if I'm going to do something, I'm going to light bulb you to death. Oh, I use that. Oh, I know that. Yes, I know you know that. And I know at your last job, I know that you know that, right? And so and if you really want to be like real thuggish about it and real down and dirty about it, I have called agencies. Like, if I know I'm going to talk to this agency and they worked for like a public company, a private company, I'll call the private company and act like I'm trying to sell something and be like, what software do you use right now? And like, oh, we're using this and this. We don't need it. Thank you. I don't really need that anyway. I just need to know what software you use so I can put it in my presentation. Right? It's about doing adequate research, learning who your buyer is, and then targeting it that way. So before I go to an event, when I attended the mayor's event, by the time I got there, I had already known that one of the mayors, their population, I knew that the median income there is $243,000. So I knew my businesses didn't qualify. I'm not about to push Black Bunker with a median of $243,000. That's not my market. But I am gonna push HR consulting services, because everybody who has a job or a company there probably works for a multi-million-dollar company. So I'm going to go ahead and market that to that particular mayor, right? Then I'm going to go to this mayor. Hey, your median income market is $46,000. You need workforce development. You need this, you need that. Bet I'm going to market Black Bunker, but I might not market human capital. Like, there's things that you need to be really like strategic. For me, I don't like to talk to everybody, but whoever I'm talking to, I'm walking away with, we're going to do business.
I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah.
Some,
In some form or fashion. We
gonna be together.
But that is the strategy itself too.
Yeah.
Is that what is the objective? What am I coming to accomplish when I'm coming here? What am I planning on leaving with? How many contacts am I planning on leaving with? Like, you got to create a mission and a goal for yourself when you're attending these type of events, these certain type of environments, so you can stay focused and so you can have something that you can obtain from leaving, not just I was there. It's like, what did you get? What are you bringing back home? What are you bringing back to the table? Because all this is time management. All this stuff is an investment, whether it's with money or it's with your sweat equity. You're putting in something. So you have to have in mind, what's in it for me? Why am I even coming to this event? And when I come in here, you don't even need to be, you better not be shy. Ain't no point in coming. You wasting gas, wasting time, wasting money, or whatever it took you to get there. You better be vocal as possible.
Yep. We told y'all this is coming from lessons learned, us failing multiple times, looking foolish.
And when I go to events and I see the people that I already know, I'm not coming to talk to them. I'm not coming to talk to the people that I already know. I'm coming to talk to people that I don't know. That's what I'm coming to network with. Yep. I think this is not no social affair, happy hour. Let's talk. No, I don't want to talk to you, bro. I talk to you all the time. I see you all the time. We know who I am. Let me get into tap with these people that I don't know. That's the purpose of these type of events. So you got to make yourself presentable. You have to be vocal. You can't be shy. You leave that nervous stuff at the door. Leave that nervous stuff at home.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Somebody said, what should we, Hamza, you can answer that. What should we have with us when we go to the events? Well, first somebody said, I forgot one of the questions. Somebody said, how do we find these events? One, I have a method. One method that I use to find the events is going to be as simple as Eventbrite. I think we overthink it. A lot of government agencies use Eventbrite.
They do.
I go in there and I type in keywords like government matchmaker. I type in the words mayor. I type in the words councilwoman. I have a meeting with a councilwoman tomorrow. Like I look for that. Also, I follow like, I personally, like Hamza really focuses like in the federal space a lot. I really focus in state and city because I can touch the mayors faster. So the transaction is faster. And I look at metropolitan cities because their budgets be high as ever. Right. So I like to look at like where the mayor's going to be at. And then if you read like Mayor of New York City, because I'm in New York City, he's constantly putting out like these like memorandums, right? And so I'll read through it to see if there's any people that he names or companies, and I will take those companies and look for what events they have. Somebody said it froze as soon as I said Eventbrite search. Miss Rita, it's not me, but this live will be saved, right?
Oh, it will. Okay.
So essentially, I go through the mayor's memorandum for the day. Like yesterday, he was potting soil on this new building that they about to break ground in. I could care less. I looked at the mayor and then I saw like 10 other people next to him. I'm like, who are these 10 people, Billy? Who? And what they do? So you read through these companies, you start to see such and such is Black owned in this, such and such is this, they own that. Then you start to be like, what events are they having?
Exactly.
You need to go where they go. You need to eat what they eat. You need to breathe the air they breathe. That's how you really get into it. So that's how I search for events. Hamza, what do you use private search engines? No. I don't.
Anything. I only use the free
normally
stuff,
when it comes
because these agencies have newsletters. And my target agencies, I'm on their newsletter. So when these opportunities come up, I'm seeing them because they come into my inbox. It's something as simple as just joining a newsletter as well. So that's the biggest way that I usually will get events, like through newsletters. And sometimes people will mention it. Like Christlie said, someone mentioned an event today. And I Googled it. They said, I hope to see you here. I ain't planning on going, but I sure hope to see. My response was, I look forward to seeing you. So whenever people mention them, and we'll start trying to post some as well, but don't rely on that because again, my target agencies and your target agencies are going to be completely different. But biggest thing for me is newsletters, and they send them bad boys out faithfully, okay, with a bunch of events on it.
Hamza,
and when it's people that I want to connect with, that like maybe it's for partnership or something, I'll go to the company's Instagram page, and if you go swipe over to their tagged photos, you can see what type of events they've been attending, what organizations they are a part of. So that way you can show up for that type of stuff. So on the opposite side, as a realtor, I do the same thing. So if I find a contractor, I try to see what organizations they are a part of and what events they are attending. So that way I can know, oh, hey, y'all, how y'all doing? That's what it is when I pop up.
Hamza, what should they bring with them to the event? Like when they go to a networking event?
The mindset to network. First of all, don't come to the event passing out flyers and all that because you're going to get balled up throwing in the trash.
Listen,
That's the
I ain't
first
going to
thing
say
I'm going
that
to do.
because I'll be banging my flyers and they be responding to me.
Listen, first of all, like, business is all about protecting the bottom line and being cost effective. So, me personally, I'm not going to bring into an event a whole bunch of paperwork and stuff like that because it costs money. It costs money to do that. So, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to create a digital concept of my capability statement or my flyer. 9 out of 10 times, everybody in that event is going to have an iPhone. And 9 out of 10 times, everybody's going to have their Bluetooth on. And guess what? I'm going to airdrop everybody. Not even my capability statement on my flyer. I'm just going to airdrop my logo. That's it. That's it. And I'm walking around with my logo on. Now it's an attraction. People come to me and start asking me, what the hell is global? What do you do? That's how you create attraction through that marketing concept. For me, I specifically would do that because now it creates a reason to speak and engage and to know more about the company instead of having it all on some type of flyer or within the capability statement. I would do it digitally that way to make a bigger impact without, going deep down into your pockets.
Add just something different, a different perspective is it depends on the event, right? So if you go to a reverse auction where government agencies are, you want to show up with your capability statement. They tell you to bring that stuff so that way they can have access to it. So again, it depends on the type of event that you go to, and determine like what type of stuff you want to bring as well. But if it's a networking event,
don't bring that.
Take whatever. Yeah, like you don't need it for that. But like I say, it depends on the type of event. I will say that.
I would say that 8.5 by 11. Like we have to think like human beings on their end, right? I don't want to carry a stack of papers to my car after I'm drinking at happy hour. Like
not a happy hour, baby.
Services, HHS. Yo, HHS has a happy hour. I've done been to the Halloween costume. I into the every time HHS got something, they be like wig day. But guess what? Guess who's at HHS? Shockingly, Department of Army be over there at their network. They have it, every single federal big honcho at the HHS networking event, and it be the white lady. Somebody said not even business cards. You can have your business card. One, you as a business owner, you should have your business cards, whether it's digital or whether it's I got mine in a baggie. Like you should have it. It's like a little drug. Like I always got a little dose.
Christlie, I'm weak.
Wherever I go, you should always have that. But what I'm saying to you is, don't approach somebody being like, hey,
here's my business card.
Such, and my business does such and such. We don't care. We're here for happy hour, right? Instead, you let them drink, because most agencies, what I've seen, they will drink. They'll drink a cup. They'll drink a bottle, okay? And then you let them rant. You let them rant for a long time. And then you listen. They're like, man, Betsy messed up this paperwork. They didn't file it properly. And I'm like, Dad, they didn't file it properly? What y'all be doing with that paperwork? Then you start to pick up things like, oh, you don't have a you don't have this software that you need, but my software can do that.
Right.
But you don't mention it. You really are there to interact. Like, networking is about creating a relationship that essentially there will be an opportunity that presents itself, but you're not over here presenting your opportunity before the problem. That's really network. You're like, let's feel this vibe out. I'm with you, you with me. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
And
You
then
there to make friends, really. You're not just there.
Exactly.
Like, you there to make friends. These are people. You ain't
Another
gonna.
thing.
We ain't saying you're gonna be best friends.
No.
Right. Another thing, because people ask these questions all the time. I got this type of such business. Is there government contracts there? I have this type of business. Is there a government contract there? Let me be clear with you all. The government is the world's largest customer. Period. Why? Because they purchase everything. Don't tell me what type of business you have. I just told you your customer buys everything you can think of, plus more.
Yeah.
From even if you don't see them purchasing it and you can identify that this is something of value to them, guess what? They're gonna spend the money on it.
Yeah.
So whatever type of business that you have, there is a government contract for it. The government purchases everything you can think of that's legal. They purchase everything.
There are some new legal things now.
I'm so tired of y'all today.
Absolutely.
I just can't. No.
Absolutely.
Stay up.
Also, all right. Also, the other person with the question that goes into, what do you feel about the 51% pertaining to the federal acquisition regulation on state of limitations to subcontract work? All right. That is a FAR clause. All right. That FAR clause is a statement of the rules and regulations around subcontracting as it varies when it comes down to an actual solicitation. All right. The solicitation is going to tell you the limitations or the requirements or the clauses related to subcontracting, if it's permissible, if it's not, what prime contractor is responsible for the work or anything like that. Guess what? If it doesn't state those things, guess what? Then you can assume. If it doesn't state that 51% of the work has to be done by the prime contractor, then guess what? Then that leaves you room to actually subcontract out. If they say that, hey, you can't subcontract out any of this work, then guess what that means? You can't have a subcontractor. So it all goes back into the paperwork, and you got to read. And if you don't like reading, then this is not for you, because 90% of this is reading. And it's not just reading to say I read it. You got to read and comprehend what you're reading. That's very important, because what you comprehend is what you're calculating. Remember that. What you comprehend in the solicitation, what you comprehend in the contract, that's how you coming up with your costs. So if you're not properly comprehending what the government wants, you're not properly estimating your pricing.
And then I think in terms of asking us like how we feel about it, honestly, either it apply or it don't. Like, I don't have no will towards it. Like, it doesn't bother me. You know, at the end of the day, now I just know how to operate.
Right.
So I don't have any feelings around it. I think if you just want to know how we feel.
Oh, I don't care.
It's the law. It's the law. There's no way around it.
There's no way around it. Like, it's like
I can't change it. I can't write a recommendation. So here's what I feel about subcontracting rules within the FAR. Is no, they make these here to protect themselves,
right,
from dealing with companies that are incompetent and thinking that they're gonna get paid up front, or in that case, if this is a high complex or high level type of contract, and we're dealing with a contractor or a prime contractor that don't know anything and think they're just going to use a sub, well, hell, we'll just hire the damn sub then.
Exactly.
So they put these rules and clauses in play to protect themselves or wasting their time with someone that is and money with someone that's incompetent. The last thing a government contracting agency or contracting officer want to do is unaward you, which takes forever. Damn near a bill got to get passed off to Congress for you to get unawarded a government contract.
It's
so
true.
The last thing that they want to do is unaward, because you're making it stressing me street for them. When you do that, they're going to be on stressing me street, and they're going to never want to ever think about doing business with you. Not just your business, they're going to remember your name, your date of birth, and your social security number. So if you attach to another company, we know who you are. No, seriously.
Yeah.
You
It's
get
true.
blackballed.
You do.
It's true. It's and the thing is, here's what I will tell you guys. One, outside of the fact that they put all these like little regulations in place to protect themselves, they talk to each other. Agencies are more prone to talk to each other than you think. And so the good side of it is, if you excel at what you're doing, if you're wonderful at what you're doing, they don't want to go and write these long, you see these long RFPs that be like 30, 40 pages. It's annoying for them. Like, they don't want to do it. So instead, they're like, bruh, like, you know somebody, and then when you don't perform well, what you need to understand, before a contract is awarded, there are steps. So on the city side or the state side, there's a board that has to approve it. Many times the board is made up of mayors,
Councilman.
which is why you want to sponsor an event or two. Okay, so when your name slides across the desk for approval, I mean, it's a little sign off. We already know what it is, right? They consist of councilwomen, which is why I have meetings with councilwomen. They consist of key people that review it. So what you need to understand is that board, if they clear a contractor and they clear a prime to get in business, and the prime can't deliver, first of all, before they even get to that point, they're going to try everything to make sure that you can deliver. They're like, can you add a sub? Can you do this? If you still can't deliver, they get in trouble because they put
due diligence.
taxpayers, like the tax collectors' dollars, into your hands and trusted you. So they're like, yo, what happened in the process? There's a checks and balance that broke. They go under review just as much as you're getting in trouble. There's somebody in the back end like, did you check the financials? Did you check the past performance? Did you call the references? And I've seen it where they're like, Dad, we just got in trouble because the prime said they could deliver and the prime cannot deliver. So like, you really need to ask yourself, like, can I do the work? And if I can't do the work, I don't believe in a middleman method unless you buy a company or whatever. But if I can't do the work, can I hire? Can I build my company? Can I staff? Can I run payroll? I run payroll every Wednesday. Like, can I build a payroll process to staff these people to get this contract executed? If you can, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Right? But really, like, I really don't care what the government, if the government says that they want the cover letter to be drawn in rainbow, my 4-year-old will go ahead and draw the damn cover letter in rainbow. As long as I can meet the scope of work and your compliance documents and I got the people, baby, I'm coming after it.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, I don't care what I gotta draw. What you want me to do? Like, but I want to get everybody back to, like, yo, a lot of people are asking about they DM me about like the tour. We are going on tour, everybody. All 3 of us. We're all going to be on tour together. If you haven't, somebody said, Shakeia, they still need to do their capability statement.
Whenever you're ready, just go ahead and send me a message.
Don't waste time. We are going on tour. We have our dates. We are kicking off in Atlanta. We're going
June 18th.
New York. Where are we going?
June 18th. June 18th.
We're kicking off. We're kicking off in Atlanta. We're going to New York. I'm a new solo-based business. I need help with my capability statement because I have no past performance.
So what? Capability statement. Capability statement. Capability statement. I didn't say past performance statement. I said capability statement. If you're a new company, you still need to be able to state what you're capable of doing. We didn't ask you about your past performance. We asked you about your capability. All right? So, prime example, if Hamza today go buys a lawnmower, weed whacker, and all the supplies to cut your grass, and I ain't never cut no grass ever in my life, you still can't tell me that I'm not capable because I got all the tools, equipment, and resources to do such. I didn't say what I cut grass before last year, or these are the homes that I cut before. You're capable. You're showing exactly what you're able to do. That's what capability means.
Yep.
It didn't say anything about past performance. It says capability. Simple as that.
Yeah.
If you don't have past performance, that's fine. Most new companies don't have no past performance, but that still doesn't mean you can't state what you're capable of doing. Now, that's a capability statement. Now, when you're reading into solicitation and they asking for past performance, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking for past performance based upon this contract, but a capability statement is not a past performance statement. It's a capability statement, exactly that.
So
Don't
wait,
overthink.
she said something. She said, "I hear you." She's working with PTAC.
You're working with the wrong people. Respectfully, straight
You
up,
saw my
man.
eyes.
Listen,
Yo,
your PTAC advisor. Your PTAC advisor gonna have you on Stress Me Street, and your PTAC advisor gonna tell you can't get no government contract because you ain't been in business 2 years or you don't got no past performance. They're gonna tell you every reason why you can't win no contract. But you show me, if you show me a PTAC advisor that got awarded government contract, I got a check for you.
Yo, let me. This is the biggest thing I'm a big person in case.
Y'all being messy today.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I ain't being mad. I ain't talking about all the. I'm not talking about all the PTAC advisors. There's some good ones out there, but that's a needle in the goddamn haystack. That's a needle in a goddamn haystack to find a solid PTAC advisor. These government agencies hire these script training employees, paying them $12 an hour to tell me how to run a multi-million-dollar business.
It's true. It's true. I listen. He's not lying because I'm a big person. I thought we done got Hamza upset. But I hired. Listen, what I did. I'm a big person in numbers. I love numbers. If I can watch the numbers, then I can make a decision. So
right.
What I did my little case study. I called 5 PTAC centers and I set up a meeting with all 5. And I blasted off. Like, here's what I need. Here's where I'm at. Here's what I need. Here's where I'm at. I didn't need anything from them. The main reason is because I have a 10-year goal and there's a whole plan behind it. So pretty much I have quickly learned that all the PTAC were just employees of other people, like of other businesses.
I'm so mad about this.
Not just employees. They're scripted trainers.
Yes.
They're being scripted trainees. What I mean by scripted, you know what? Where you talking on the phone with customer service with Sprint or somebody, and then you ask them a question, and then they don't even answer the question. They just looking at
They just giving you like the runaround.
Listen, that's what's happening with PTAC, what you're dealing with PTAC advisors. Once again, there are some great ones, but it's like a needle in a haystack.
For sure.
And most of your PTAC advisors never done business with the government. The key thing about PTAC advisor, how you should use them as a free employee for yourself to get data. They have access to information. So you give them directive. Don't let them give you directive. You give them directive. Yep. What I mean by that, hey, can you give me all the acquisition departments that's in the Southeast region that's purchasing this? Like, they have access to data. Use them for that utility, and that's it.
And they have access. They also have access to some contracts before the contract goes out to the public, right? PTAC is not there to help you build. PTAC is there as a resource to help you decide, hey, this is just an extra leg. It's an extra resource. I interviewed all 5 of the PTACs. They all could not deliver what I could deliver in Black Bunker. They could not deliver what Govlier or Global Connects could deliver, not even in broad daylight if we smacked it in their face, right? So the biggest thing that I want you to understand when you're writing a proposal, if you're going after RFP, and she said in the comments that she was discouraged because the PTAC said you need to have 2 years worth of past performance. I am going to give you, I already gave y'all some gems on how to respond to RFPs. Let me show you, and then I got to go, but let me show you how I make up for the past performance. I am in human resources, right? I have worked in corporate side of let me be real. Retail human resources, hospitality human resources, corporate side of HR, right? And when I wrote my capability statement, I did not say these were my jobs. Instead, I pulled out the skills that I knew the agency wanted to look at. I bulleted those skills as the competencies that we have, and then I put those companies' logos on
That's
my
what I was gonna say. The
capability
logo.
statement, right? I put their logos. That means you don't know if I did a contract for them. You don't know if I work for them. You don't know nothing. You just see a logo.
Facts.
You see Target, and you mind your business.
McDonald's. Look,
That
I could have been
McDonald's.
flipping burgers.
I don't know what you know, but
I got
that's what
past
I put,
performance.
right?
I worked before.
Now, when it comes down to the RFP response, this is the critical part, is you need to be able to read the RFP to find out what is delivered. So one thing with my team, I have an HR operations, Milton. He's wonderful. He set up a spreadsheet. I've shared it with some of my Black Bunker mentees, where on that spreadsheet, it's your past performance, right? So everybody, every human that I've worked with has to put in the past performance, meaning you work for the company, right? It's an Excel sheet. Company, is it private or public? Private, public. What did you do? What are the key things? We delivered, we reformed this and this, we did that and that. Name the key accomplishments, and what was the scope? 300 employees, 7 C-suite leaders, blah, blah, blah. Now we got everything in one Excel sheet. So now when it comes down to I'm responding to an RFP, let's be clear, my first contract was my first contract. My first contract was my first contract, meaning I needed to leverage my entire, past hospitality, restaurant, every experience, and be like, instead of saying, I used to work at Target as the HR no, you know what? We serve Target Corporation by redefining their best practices, redoing their blah, blah, blah. How many years? For 10 years, we accomplished by having 300 employees trained through XX software. But the whole time you're reading it like that's what you think I did, but in reality, I did do that.
I did. It's how you say it.
It's the language for me. It's the language for me. Prime example: Nico Bradley. Nico Bradley was awarded a 5-year cleaning contract. When he was filling out and writing his proposals to submit back in his bid, right? He was like, Hamza, I ain't got no past performance. I said, we all got past performance. If you think about it, I said, what do you do? He said, well, I work at FedEx. I said, well, what do you do at FedEx? He said, well, I'm a package handler. I said, what the hell do a package handler do? He said, well, I take the boxes off the conveyor belt and I load it into the trailer. I said, hold on. Let me calculate 1 second. All right. You were a lead. All right. So this is what you need to be able to express. All right, within your past performance, right, is that you was in logistics, you handling, all right, as a director, all right, of supply chain and logistics for a Fortune 500 company. There was not a lie there. We just took the concept of your job description and worded it in a different way, and it means the same thing.
Right.
FedEx is a Fortune 500 company. We don't have to say FedEx. What you're doing is a part of supply chain and logistics, right? Which means that you know how to handle things from point A to point B, which is going to be needed in this janitorial cleaning contract. That's an annual type of contract where services have to be done weekly,
right,
monthly, or quarterly, right? So it's all about how you're able to articulate your past performance. Not I used to work at FedEx as a package handler. You're talking about the experiences that you have endured from of doing business or working with other companies, or whatever job title or skill set that you learn from that. You need to implement that within your business. So the client or the customer can identify you as being, or your business as being, competent. That's the most important part. So be able to word things creatively to where you're not lying. You're just massaging the truth.
And helping them understand that you can do it. You know, that's the biggest point. I don't have to say, someone said I'm a broker agent in logistics. I don't have to say I'm a broker agent in logistics. Like, I can say I've done X, Y, and Z, and you can come up with whatever assumption you're going to come up with off of it. Hopefully, is, of course, you want to make sure it's tailored to whatever the response is, but you want to make sure you are leveraging the way that you're saying it. And I'm not going to say like playing it up, but what is the overall mission of that company that you work for, and how do your job, what you do, the work you did, tie into that mission? Companies
And I
have huge missions.
always add numbers. Like people
Oh,
be
yeah.
scared to add numbers. Like, yo, my achievement is, yo, based off of my HR best practices review, we resulted in, 3% conversion in such and such. If it don't got a number to it, for
Yes.
me, it don't even make sense.
Right. So we want to talk about past performance and competency. Even if your business is new, in your capability statement on your proposal, you want to list the key personnel members of the company. Whether it's the CEO, whether it's the CFO, COO, whatever those titles are, you list those individuals, and then you go into those individual skill sets and their competencies, and that exposes more of the business capability of what it can do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Diamonds down, thumbs up.
Yeah, y'all drop something.
I'm over here. I'm about to go. Wait, hold on. Let me.
I ain't got time.
Join Pastor Hamza on his journey. Listen, y'all. This is gonna be the last thing because I am a mom and a wife.
I'm on the go. I'm literally sitting in the car baking, but I gotta go.
I gotta go. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. You guys need to watch the podcast.
Yeah.
Y'all need to watch the podcast. For those that are like, oh, how I could respond with an RFP, but I don't have the people to respond, blah, blah, blah. I gave my entire blueprint on how I built an entire team of, I think the RFP I submitted had like 30 people on there. And 30 people do not work. I do not run payroll for 30 people on right now in this moment for this contract. But I built 30 bodies into this thing, and I showed, okay, we will plan the RFP response, like, how we gonna do that? We'll figure it out. We're gonna put it in the tool, okay? But that's all I got.
Bundle it up.
Bundle
pack.
Yeah.
It's a bundle pack.
Somebody said, what is the podcast? It's Government Coins. It's on YouTube.
Coins. Can I drop it in this? Government Coins.
Government Coins.
Podcast.
It's in the top.
Baby.
Government Coins.
And I'm gonna say this forever. Every time I get on live, I'm gonna always say this. If you're looking to get rich by tomorrow, I can't help you.
Don't come.
I won't help you.
It's not for me.
And I ain't even gonna pretend like I can, because shit, I'm still trying to get rich by tomorrow. Once I figure it out.
Now next month. Next month.
We all rich.
When I get that call next month.
I did one contract away.
One contract.
We all rich. We up next month, baby.
Next month, everybody eating. Everybody eating. Like Pop Smoke said, like it's
straight up, it's
for the steak, baby.
Yeah, it's a mindset for me, because it's like I'm back to ramen noodle eating. It's a mindset. Like I'm back. How do I get myself back in hustle mode? How do I get myself back out of this uncomfortable mode? I gotta get myself uncomfortable. I'm back sleeping on a hardwood floor with a pillow. I'm back eating ramen noodles every day. Like seriously. Like back in the trenches, what I call it. Like it's time to get the grussel on. You gotta get the hustle going. Exactly.
And sometimes you need that.
With a little hustle.
You need to be reminded.
Yes.
Like what you need to do. Look, I've been doing the same thing. Y'all know I love me some Chick-fil-A, honey. I ain't been there 2 weeks.
No, it is a mindset though. You got, and this the one thing I'm gonna say to y'all for real. This is not a get rich tomorrow.
Oh my
God.
This
me talking about contact me next month. Let's be clear. I put the work in since August.
That's why I don't like talking about other people's success stories.
Yeah.
Because that's their story.
That's their story.
That's their book. That's their book. Mm-hmm. That's their book. You the author of your own book.
True.
Or you the writer of your own book. So you narrating your own book. And at the end of the day, everybody's journey is different. So yeah, Pearl Jones made $1 million in 10 months. Yeah, Adrian did over 1.5 less than a year. All right, but that's their story.
Right.
That's their journey. So you can't gauge someone else's success based off of how you're going to be successful. You got to stay down for the crown so you can come up for the cup. Simple as that.
Christlie,
Simple as
somebody
that.
said the congregation waiting for their praise report.
Everybody, please.
You gotta stay down. If you want to get the crown, like think about that. If you want to get the crown, if you want to be crowned the queen, you want to be crowned the king to your significant other, you got to stay down for them through thick and thin. If you want your business to be crowned, you have to stay down for it. All right? If you want to come up for that cup, that championship cup, that cup that runneth over,
the ring.
Come on. Yes, you gotta come up with the methods, the strategies, the persistence, the consistency, the ambition. You just can't say I submitted in the bid and that's it.
Yeah. And wait.
And just wait. It's a continuation of wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Talent don't win the games. Consistency and discipline does.
True.
Strategy.
I don't care how good you are. You're gonna be a shoulda, coulda, woulda. Man, you had a lot of talent. But it went to waste. You had a lot of talent and you could have been. You never implied it. You never implied consistency. You take me somebody that's willing to learn and willing to be consistent, I'll take that person any day over someone with all the talent in the world.
Facts.
That's a fact.
Facts.
Any given day of the week. Yeah, man. Consistency, man, wins all day. So with damn Hamza, it's hard for me to stay consistent. You know why it's hard for you to stay consistent? Because you ain't passionate about what you're doing. Simple as that. Because if you're passionate about it, it creates commitment. And when you got passion and commitment, guess what it equals? You do the math.
And it's honestly, you need to have the consistency even when you fail. Like you got to be, one thing I got real comfortable with, and it's not a bad comfortable. It's not saying like I'm mellow in it. I got comfortable with hearing no. And the reason being is the more comfortable I got with hearing no, I was like, next. On to the next. Because there is, and I have to find this sheet. I used to have this sheet and I'm gonna frame it because it was a sheet of over 240 primes. And I took the sheet and I went straight cold calling for days, emailing for days. When I got to number 78, that's when one person said yes. And it was like a $15,000 situation, $16,000 situation, right? Contract. So you have to understand that means for me to get to number 78, I heard 77 no's to get to my 78th yes. And some of y'all don't want to just be like, oh, you know what? P-Tax said, for you, this is the comment for you to talk about P-Tax said no and they discourage you. P-Tax said no. Because P-TAC is not for you. God. Move on and find somebody else. Figure it out another way. Do something else. Be like, yo, okay, P-TAC. If P-TAC said you need two past performances to get this, be like, all right, bet. Let me get the information. If this is a rebid, who won last year? Who won last year? What's the name of the company? Let me look that company up. Let me start working. Let me see what they do, what they look like. Because baby, if I'm not gonna go after it now, it's gonna recompete next year. I'm gonna be building to next year. And that's another thing. You have to be in it for the long game. You can't be in it talking about, oh, it's been 2 months. Baby, try 2 years, try 6 years, try 8 years. Like it could be whatever. The more strategic you are, the more you market yourself, the more you're involved in it. Lane, I know you on here. I literally said, I hope Lane jumps on.
She sure
Lane,
did.
Somebody DM me, Lane. Like, I'm gonna DM you after this. The more consistent you are with marketing, the more you're up these government agencies, the more you're targeting your key market, it will hit. Lane said 2 years for me. Ooh. Everybody's story is different.
Yes.
Look, everybody's story is done.
The car probably overheated. I'm not going to front.
What happened?
His phone probably overheated. You see how he froze?
Yes.
All right, I gotta go pick up my.
All right, I'll catch up with y'all later. We will be saving this live. It'll be on Government Coins. On Government Coins Instagram. So just go there if you want to check this out. And then you'll be able to take you some notes from there. But other than that, we are headed out. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, girl.